Oh, you know what? I didn't upload the cover image. Hold on, let me just upload the cover image. Here we go. Okay, good. Welcome to the live stream. Hey guys, my name is Ching. I'm trying to build a SaaS startup in 30 days. And so today we're actually going to start doing some of the code, finally. So we've had a couple of streams before where we kind of went through a lot of the strategy behind what I'm building and kind of getting everything set up. So we started with the business strategy, chapter 1, and then we moved forward to drawing out wireframes and user flows, designing the page, building a landing page, and then building an engineering roadmap. It's all on GitHub. And finally, today, we're going to start actually building the beginnings of the technical website. Okay, so my app is, I picked a name finally, and I bought a domain. It's going to be called getme. So it's a getme.com. And what it's going to do is it's going to help people present their GitHub issues in a better way, possibly to management, maybe to project managers. The problem that I was facing was that when all of our issues in our previous project were hosted on GitHub, and they were, for us, a good way to track what was being done, what needs to be done. We could put labels on them and so forth. But when we needed to present it at a higher level to management or to our project manager, it became a bit confusing. It became a bit difficult to kind of group them together as a message. And so there's Kanban boards, but they were a bit restricted as to what we wanted to do. So I wanted to build a different way of grouping your GitHub issues so that hopefully it can help you present your issues better to management. Okay. So we're going to be mostly building this on React, and we're going to use the AWS Amplify library as sort of a way to help us with the backend, especially with regards to the database management. And also, they have this new feature. It's not too new, but relatively new, where they can also host your website for you, the static web hosting. And they can connect it with GitHub. And so every time you update your code on GitHub, it will automatically build from GitHub and post updates live to your website. I haven't used it before, but we're going to try it out today, and let's see how it goes. So today we're going to start with we're going to try to copy these things here. So we're going to create our Hello World app, React app. I haven't used Create React App before, but a lot of people use it, so I think you should just get started with some boilerplate code, especially with some of the configurations, like Babel configurations. I think that might be helpful, and maybe even Webpack. And then we're going to also set up AWS Amplify and hopefully get static web hosting set up. I bought the domain already, and we're going to connect that with this so that hopefully once we go to the website, then it will show us our site. And then we created a landing page on Webflow, and so I'm going to download that, and I'm going to upload those static files onto onto our Amplify here, so that the index page can go to this landing page. So this landing page will be built with Webflow, but everything beyond that we're going to build with React. Just because the landing page doesn't have that many features, it's just a page to kind of demonstrate what your app is about and also garner interest from people. So there's not much functionality there. It's just maybe links or forms, which you can all do in Webflow. But our app, the part that we're going to build with React, is going to be a lot more interactive. There's a lot of drag and drop stuff that we're going to have, so we need to have much more functionality built in. And so that's something that's a little more difficult to build with Webflow. And so we're going to have the landing page kind of point to the home route, which is this route. Yes. So that means if you go to getme.com, it should take you directly to this landing page. If you go to getme.com/login, we're going to have a different page for this. And what I think I'm going to do, and I think this is how it works, is that I'm going to have create a separate HTML file for these two different routes, and then I'm going to have React attached to those index files, to those HTML files here. That way you can sort of separate out the code. So for example, the login code, you only have to load the code that's required for this page using React. And same with the dashboard. we only need specific code for the dashboard, and that will only be loaded with this, as opposed to loading all the code, even for the landing page, which can get a bit heavy. So this is sort of our manual way of, in a sense, tree shaking. Of course, there can be more tree shaking down the road that can be done more automatically, but at least we'll have these sort of two main ones because there's no crossing overlap in functionality between these two here. And then we'll just build a basic login dashboard page. By basic, I literally just mean putting an H1 that says login at the top and the H1 that says dashboard on the page, and that's it. So we'll just start with that. Yeah. Okay, so let's see how quickly we can go through this. I'm trying to think of what I should start with first. Maybe let's pull up our GitHub page where we're going to be hosting the code, and you guys can get access to this code. So it's all open, it's all public. Okay, good. So maybe I should actually create a project folder on my desktop, which I don't even have yet. So let's do that. Okay. Let me just go to the right folder here. Let's call this okay. Okay, so we're in the get me folder, and actually what I want to do is I want to connect to this GitHub repo here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up my terminal. I'm going to go to my project folder. Right. Maybe I shouldn't be showing you this. Block it out a little bit. And I want to clone this code so I can just connect to this. So copy that to git. I'm going to type in git clone. Okay. And let's see. Okay. Okay, so now I'm in my folder get me, and see if I can open VS Code with this. Good. So now I'm connected, and within VS Code, I can see that I'm connected to the master. I use git graph, which is really helpful, and then we have the initial commit here. Perfect. So that way, from here, then we can start. It's directly connected here, so every change we can save on Git, and we can then upload those changes onto GitHub. And so we'll be in sync between my VS Code here and this repo. Okay. And so let's try. I believe to start a React app, I think it's npx create React app. Yeah. Let's see if this works. Well, let's see what this does. I think they have a bunch of templates where they have create React app with a bunch of other libraries that you can combine it with, like for example, AWS Amplify, or have Babel configuration, or TypeScript configuration. We're not going to use any of those. We're just going to do the basic version. So okay, project directory. So maybe it's just in this project directory. So let's do this, and I'm going to put a dot here, which points here, I think. Do I have to run npx? If this works. Okay. I also don't like the folder name that came with this Git repo, so I wonder if I can change the name. This is all really confusing. Okay. I'm going to try changing the name to get me, no capital and no dashes. And this is no longer going to appear, so I'm going to, so now we have here, change to get me, and we should have the readme still. And let's open this up with code, VS Code, and let's see, I think we're still connected, I hope. So it's a different folder name now. And let's see if we can create a React app here. Okay, great. React DOM, React scripts, CRA template. Okay. I know we definitely need these two. I don't know what this does. And I don't know what this does, but I guess it gives us some off-the-shelf configuration. Okay. Okay, so we have these 4 dependencies, okay, and I wonder what this does. ESLint config extends, okay, well, it's still doing stuff. It's got to get ignored, yes, good. It's just going to ignore node modules. I don't know what this is. Coverage, build, share. Let's just leave all these in. .ds store, .env local, .env, okay, good. npm debug, sure, that's fine. Let's keep all these. So let's first add the git ignore. So that hopefully it will reflect all of these changes. I don't know what these things are. Okay, actually we don't need any of these things here. Use which is install local and git trusted version. Press allow. Okay, I don't know what that did. Okay. So they moved my old readme file. Okay, and what is this? This. Okay, cool. So they just kind of rebuilt a readme file here. Okay, let's just move this here. Okay, and we can get rid of this. Okay. Text.json is new. Source app.css app.js. Okay. So if we can get rid of a lot of this stuff. I don't plan on using .css. I don't know what these servers workers are. Service worker. Offline capabilities, however, it also means that developers need only see deployed updates on subsequent visits to a page after all existing tabs open. Okay. Here's some jest testing. Okay. So I think if we, let's see, we have some npm scripts here. So if we start this, should we be able to see it? Okay, I have the local host here. Good, okay, cool. So now we have a React app running, yeah? And let's see where this starts. So this starts here. So we can say something like get me app, yeah? Here it is, done. Okay, so let's just put in an H1 for now. And let's just say get me app. And let's get rid of everything else here. Header, image, okay, so we don't need this stuff here. Done, okay. So we don't need this logo. and we can get rid of this logo. And what is this? What is strict mode? Okay, so this is sort of our main one here. And where do we attach it? There's no HTML file where we attach. I wonder what this does here. Maybe let's look it up. Okay, cool. Define comments with unsafe life cycles. Great, okay. Warning about legacy string ref API usage. Warning about deprecated find DOM node usage. Detecting unexpected side effects. Okay. Interesting. Okay, perfect. So this is going to raise more bugs for sure, but I think it's better to identify those bugs early. So let's leave that in. App documents.get element by ID. Oh, okay, yeah, here it is. So it just it looks at our main HTML ID DOM, and then it attaches it to the root. Whatever. So where's our HTML? Is it here? Here it is. Yes. Okay. So this is our main page. So later we're going to replace this with our Webflow project, and actually we're going to have multiple roots. But let's save this for now. What is this logo? We don't need these logos in public. We're going to be removing them. Okay. We should replace this favicon later. Sorry, I just I delete some stuff, but actually I want to just make sure that I delete the references to them. So where did they go actually? Uh-oh, I lost them. Ah, it's here. Okay, I think it's this one here. So let's search for this. Where am I here? Manifest, public manifest.json. What does manifest do? I don't know what manifest does. Okay, we'll keep this robot index. Okay. So I don't think we need this. Apple Touch icon. Well, so let's update the description since we're here. I had a description here in my README. Let's call this service. Let's just use that for now. We'll update it later. Okay. And name. Let's see. We should have a title. Here it is. This is the title. Yes. So it should be called Get to Me. Okay. Good. So this is the favicon. That's fine for now. Okay, let's just leave all this stuff in. I think that's fine for now. CSS. Let's get rid of these CSS files. To be honest, we don't need them. Okay. And what is this test? I don't know how to use this file yet, but we'll leave it for now. And I don't know how to use these things either, so we'll leave them for now as well. JSON, okay, good. And yarn.log, I guess we'll keep this. But I gotta be honest, I kind of want to ignore it. Maybe we should just add this to ignore. Yarn. Okay. Because I think this is automatically generated. I don't know what to do with it. Okay. So we're going to add this package, yes. Update the README, that's fine. Keep this favicon, we'll update it later. Some of these things I don't know what they do, but we'll just keep them in for now. Okay, cool. So let's say create React app image. What's this? What's this? The Git message. Okay, cool, done. So we have a basic React app. I deleted those files and here we go. We don't need this. Okay. What is it? What is it called? What is it? Where is it referring to that? Import here. This one. Okay. Good. Okay. So it works fine. Remove CSS files. Okay. Good. So we should be able to upload this, and we'll just make sure that we can upload this to GitHub using this button. Okay, so it seemed to upload, and if I refresh this, then we should have everything. Good, perfect, done. Later on, we'll update this README. I don't think we need all this stuff here. We can move it somewhere else. Okay, so I think that's all done. So let's check that off. Create a basic Hello World app. Yes, done. So now we want static web hosting. So let's see how this works. Yeah. So AWS Amplify Static Web Hosting. Okay. Let's see how we connect this. Okay, yeah, we want this. We want to set this up. Okay, cool. So let's connect app. Okay. Sign into my organization. I already have an AWS account. I wonder if you can hear me chewing. I think you can. So I'm just having some fruit. Okay, we want GitHub. Okay, I guess it's going to be Southeast Asia. I think that's fine. Yes, okay, that's fine. AWS Amplify console. Okay. Put my password. Okay, great. So now I can select my repository, and we use this one. Get me. And yes, so master will be our production branch. The app name is get.me, yes. Okay, build and test. We've auto-detected the app's build settings. Please use your build command and output folder correctly. Okay, yes, I think so. I think this all works. So let's look at the advanced settings. Use our default build container, provide your own. No. We don't have environment variables yet, but we can put them in here. Live package updates. Okay, so let's just go with the basic stuff yet for now. GitHub, get.me, yes. Master branch. Yeah, use the default image. It's a React framework, correct? Auto text settings will be used. Okay, save and deploy. And I think you can save some sort of configuration in your project as well, if you need to configure it some more. But let's see how this works first. Okay. am I waiting? What is this? Oh, it's building right now. Okay. So it's connected to the master branch. Good. I think that's all we need for now. Later on, we're gonna want a staging branch as well. What is this backend environments? Okay. Amplify your app with flexible. Okay. So I already have Amplify. Yes. CLI. Okay. Install and okay. And I guess you can initialize it with this app ID. Set up your backend. So like API. Yes. Okay. And API. I understand. That's what we're going to do later. Okay. So I guess they already provisioned a domain name service for us here. Let's master this, amplifyapp.com. Okay. So while this builds, let's take a look at all these settings here. Okay, the app is called Get.Me, production branch URL. It's good. Framework is React, yes. Connect branches, okay. Branch auto disconnect. Okay, yes, master, auto build. Yes, done. Domain management. Okay, I think this is where we want to connect. Use your own custom with free HTTP to secure. Yes. Okay, this is exactly what we want. So add domain. My domain is called getme.com. So maybe I have to configure a root 53. So let's see if this works. Okay. Yes. Subdomains configuration. Okay. Yes. So no, actually, should I point it here? A lot of people point it to the www dot, but I almost kind of prefer it without. So I know Google points to www dot. So let's see if I go to google.com, there's www in front. What happens if I go to Stripe? Do they do the same thing? No, they don't. Okay. I think it looks much cleaner, so I don't want that. In rewrites and redirects page. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, I think these are the main subdomains we want. We don't need anything else yet. Okay. Cool. Use your own custom. Okay, good. So we'll just wait for them to configure everything here. And you can also manage subdomains. Okay. Cell configuration. Let's go back to see where we're deployed. Verified. Okay, verify succeeded. So if we go here, good. Okay, good. So my app is up. Get me app. Perfect. That works. So I think we can check one of these off actually. So now it's hosted. Perfect. So let's go back to domains. So we have to verify the ownership. Yes, so I was expecting this. So I bought my domain from Google, domains.google.com. I've used a few of them, like GoDaddy, but GoDaddy charges extra if they want to keep your contact details private. Google kind of does it automatically, and they keep it. Let's see, and it's just $12 a year for .coms. Not necessarily the cheapest, but it's not much more expensive. Okay, so let's go to DNS. Let's put this on one side and let's put this on another here. So in order to verify ownership, configure the CNAME record associated with the domain and verify the CNAME record exists on your DNS file. Okay, cool. So sometimes I get confused as to how to do this. It should host synthetic records, custom records, yes. So we want to add a CNAME, okay? And I believe this first part here is what we want here. And I think we want this one here. Okay. There's a period at the end. I'm not too sure. I think. Let's add this. Let's see if it works. Okay. Okay. So we've added the CNAME, so they can just check that I own this. Let's view the DNS record. Oh, okay. We have to do this. It's such a long screen. Let's shorten it. So I think I already added this. F187 00 ends with B5A. B5A dot. Do I need this .getme.com? Maybe I don't need the end part, because usually I don't. Oopsie. Okay, so let's edit that. And then the CNAME should be _9F3, ends with CC7 here, BSGM, yes, .acm validation.aws, okay. Configure root domain. For your root domain, you must configure an ANAME record, also the alias. If your DNS provider does not support ANAME, you're migrating a custom domain that is already serving. Okay. So need to add an ANAME. So let's add @ANAME and to this thing here, to CloudFront. And to serve traffic to your domain, point DNS records to the AWS Amplify service. Okay. So we need a CNAME. This is invalid data. Why? Oh, is it A or ANAME? Oh, is it alias? Or is it quadruple A? Should I migrate my zone file to root 53? I do that for a lot of my domains, actually. I do use root 53 a lot, because I'm kind of just baked into the AWS ecosystem. I think I should already be signed in. I wonder if I should just migrate this to root 53. Okay, maybe let's view these docs. Okay. Set up custom domain names, yes, okay. CNAME. So yeah, we don't have a name, okay. Managed by, here we go. Log into, yes, scroll down to custom resources, we add 2 new CNAME records. Create the first CNAME record to point all subdomains to the Amplify domain as follows. For the name, www. For data, enter the value that's available in the Amplify console. Okay, yes. So let's see. See if we can do this. Okay, so I think we're doing this part here. So let's do www CNAME, and let's see if we can copy this in. Okay, yes, done. Where did that page go? It's here. Okay, good. Create the first CNAME. For data, yes, we entered this. So it's at cloudfront.net. Create the second CNAME record to point to the AWS Certificate Manager, ACM validation server. Single validated ACM generates an SSL certificate. For name, enter the subdomain. If the DNS record in the Amplify for verifying ownership is this, enter only, yes, okay, I think we did this. So for data, enter the ACM validation certificate. Validation server is ACM. I think we did this, yes, okay. enter the whole thing, basically. Okay. Google Domains doesn't support, yes, correct. For DNS providers that don't have, we strongly recommend writing set up a subdomain forward. Locate the synthetic records pane for subdomain. Okay, maybe we should do this. If you want to keep Google Domains as your provider and update your root domain, set up a subdomain. Okay, locate the synthetic records pane. For subdomain, enter the @ symbol. It's supposed to have the root domain. For destination, enter the subdomain forward to. And update the root domain. Set up a subdomain forward. But actually, I want www to point to the non-www one. Hey, configure DNS, CNAME, ANAME. Okay, so they got the first one. The required CNAME records are not yet configured for the below subdomains. Configure the required CNAME with your DNS provider. Good. Okay, so they kind of registered one already. I think they registered this one. And so we need to, so this one will go to CloudFront. I'm a bit confused. Should I just move this to Route 53? It's another thing that we should do. Okay. Maybe we should just do that. I do that for all my other domains. I buy in Google and I just port all the management over to Route 53. It's these name servers that I have to update. Okay. I have 4 hosted zones. This is so involved. I hate this. Let's go back to reading that thing here. Name alias records. Okay. Migrating your DNS to Amazon. Okay. If you keep doing this, providers update, set up domain forward. Okay. So let's see if this will work. I think if I type in www. I just want to forward it to getme.com. They have temporary redirect. What's the difference? I'll just follow their settings for now. Right? Okay, well, we verified domain ownership. We are propagating your custom domain to our global content delivery network, which could take up to 30 minutes. Okay, well, it's a different message now, actually. Oh, so actually maybe I need this. Is that what it's saying? You enter your subdomain to forward to. I don't know what this is regarding. Okay. I need some more information on this. I'm not quite sure what's going on. Okay, maybe let's come back to this in a little bit. Maybe let's just wait the 30 minutes. So we're almost done with this. I think hopefully it should work soon. And okay, so the next step is we want to configure our landing page to go to the main route. So right now our main, we have this one working. So if we go to this route, then we'll have our main page. But actually what I want is not this page, I want our landing page from webflow.com. So let's go to Webflow. And let's download our current web page. It's not finished yet, but let's just download whatever we have. Give me. Okay. So here's our landing page, and we kind of just talked through the content already to describe what we want to describe, and then I still have to create these images here to sort of demonstrate what we're trying to build. But let's download this code first. So I think there's this export code here. Perfect. Okay, good. Prepare zip. Now I'm going to have to figure out how this plays into sort of our folder structure here. I imagine it goes into public. So let me just read what these things do. Run the app in development mode, make edits. Okay, yarn test, launches test runner, yarn build builds the app production to the build folder. Bundles React in production mode optimize the build for best performance. Builds minified and file names included. File names include the hashes. Your app is ready to be deployed. Okay. So I just want to see if our build is actually the public folder. Let's see. I think it's under package. Private version scripts. React scripts. Okay. Build. What is React scripts? Do we have any configuration for this? How do I read more about React scripts? Okay, we have to go to read some documentation. Okay, download zip. Builds a directory with production build. Okay, it's a trade issue. Served HTML request static paths like static are served contents. Yes, correct. Install, serve build. Oh, create React App is a huge project. Welcome. Okay. Deployment, editor, development. So I'm going to have to spend some time figuring out how this works in the routing. So for example, because I imagine I want to put the files here. So the files are downloaded. Let me open up my desktop. And so here are the files. This is the index. Okay, and we want all this stuff in between. This image license. Okay, that's fine. We can keep that. So index. So actually, I think we just want to, let's see if we just copy this into public and see what happens. So I'll move that here. Can I? Oh, it's added a pointer to these folders actually. That's not what I want. Let me just open up this folder so I can actually just copy and paste these in. And it should replace my index. Replace it. That's fine because we have it saved on Git, so we can go back and revert changes if we need. Okay. So now we have our index. And let's make sure body is called body hero. Our app connects to the root ID, but we don't have a root ID, which is fine. We don't want this to connect yet. So let's see if this works. If we start this, oh, it's already active. Okay, so where is it? Target container is not a DOM element. Yeah, maybe because it's not attaching to anything. Maybe we need something else for it to attach to. What if I turn this off? Or what if I just created another root below the HTML at the bottom? So actually, let's just put a DOM div here, and let's call it ID equals root. Let's see if it can attach there. Okay, cool. So here we have that DOM div root, and we're going to move it somewhere else. But here we can see that our web page works. It's hiding our nav bar up there. Okay, good. So it's working. Perfect. And the text is a bit small. Okay. So let's see how we're going to structure this. I think what I want to understand is I want to understand the routing on because we're going to have a sort of a hybrid React app. We're going to have some static HTML and then some React. So we'll just take a quick break here. I do need to go use the restroom, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay. was we now have our app, our landing page, sort of loaded in, but we need to let it play well with our React app because we're going to have a hybrid React and landing page, basic static HTML. I kind of put it all in a public folder because I think that's where it reads from. I'm not sure how this public folder is built, but it works for now. And so maybe let's first initialize all this stuff, and so we can see the difference in the changes. So edit landing page. Oops. Landing page. Okay, so I think this is all correct. These are all just image assets. We have another favicon here. Okay. Okay, let's commit this first. I imagine there should be a better way to organize this, but I don't know how yet. So, I want to figure out how to better structure this if we have a hybrid app. Reading hybrid create React app. Let's see if that helps. What is a hybrid app? Maybe I'm using the wrong term. Oh. No, I'm getting a lot of React Native stuff. No, Gatsby. No. So maybe hybrid's not the right word. Reading HTML with. Okay. Pre-running static HTML. If you're hosting your build with a static hosting provider, information for each root or relevant page will then seem to become active or hide your information. Okay. To use outside of SaaS, professional server and generate caching rules. Primarily pre-running is to get the core contribution with HTML payload. It also increases the use with more 0.3 pre-rendering. I'll put a snapshot in here. This is what I want. Deployment. Production delivery app. Set your favorite HTTP server so that your site is served index and because of static paths like what is a progressive web app? I don't understand what this term means. Yes, what are progressive web apps? It's usually okay. Okay, neither is supposed to be information. Okay.
still don't fully understand what it is, but it just has a nice deployment. We're just developing components and isolation, analyzing bundles, so HTTPS development. No. Further structure. The page template, okay. So it's jobs entry point. You can delete and rename the files when you create something from the site source. Any files inside source are processed by Webpack. You need to put any JS and CSS files inside as received. Only files inside public can be used from public. Okay. Read instructions below for using assets from jobs and recently. You can create more top-level directories that might be included in production code, so you can make things like documents or get installed in production on part of it. It will be initialized. If you use HTML5 push state history file servers will fail. If routed with the root, the development server will respond to properly, but an express serving production build is correct or not. There's only a fresh page load for it. So it looks for the file built to-dos 42 does not find it. Correct, okay? Server needs to be configured to respond to a request to to-dos by serving index.html. Okay. Right, so I don't have a server. I'm using static website hosting. Developer produces a build hosted at the server group. To override this, specify the home page in your package.json. Okay, interesting. This will let create React app correctly infer the root path to use in the generate HTML file. Okay, serving the same build from different paths. Make sure 0.0, 9.0, whatever you have. Oh, way above that. Push state, okay. Yes, I'm using this. Okay. Pages. I feel like I can be stuck on this for quite a while, actually. Okay, this is something about homepage. I think I'm gonna have to ask someone for help on this. I don't know how to do this. Like, I want to go to, let's check back up over here, let's see where we are. Ah, okay, great. Is it working? Get me. Okay, getme.com. Let's see where that goes. Great. Ah, look. It's already got our saved landing page. It's beautiful. Perfect. Okay. Check. Connect domain address. Done. Sure. Well, I guess we can say we've done this already, but we need to fix it up a little bit. Beautiful. So it's pointing to www.getme.com. I can live with that. That's completely fine for now. So we don't need this router through. That's great. Okay. I wonder if the routing has to do with this build settings. Here, apps build spec. Okay, great. So if I update this here, then I might be able to get the roots fixed here. So for example, if I go here, if I go to this website /login, I want to go to, I wanted to pull up a separate page, a different HTML page, which then loads my React code. I wonder why it brought me back here. So that might work online if I use this build stuff, but how do I do that locally? Okay, yeah, I really might get stuck on this one for quite a while. So show basic login and dashboard page for those routes. So another way we can do this is actually also still have this app load at the root, and then install React Router, which I need to do anyways. So why don't we put in React Router. Let's get that set up first, and now I'm also going to get styled components loaded up because I also want that. We'll use that later. And maybe I'll load that later when I actually start using it. Okay, so this is our main HTML, and instead of this here, I think we're just going to attach it to body here, and that will be sort of our main page. I wonder if this will overwrite some of the JavaScript written by Webflow. And it imports app, so we can just write all our code here in app, and we don't want to replace that whole thing with this. We have to create some routes with React Router. So maybe let's just get rid of this first. We don't need this class name. And let's see if it works in our development. So I think it's localhost. Is it 3,000? No, I think it's 9,000. No, it is. It's here. What's that? Maybe I have to reload it. Target container is not a DOM element. Why not? Get element by ID. Oh, was it? Oh, it's a class. Sorry. Let's call it this. So I think it completely overwrites everything. Yeah, now I have nothing. So maybe what if I didn't return anything? Return nothing. If I return null, it's also just not going to give me anything. Maybe it'll do nothing. Okay, so my React Router is loaded. Let me pull up the React Router documentation page, so we can just do a quick start. Okay. Router. this. Okay, I don't think we have to React routed on. Install that too. Router to just take this out for now. Okay, let's completely erased it. So let's see. We need this basic HTML page here, this index page, to kind of be in here in a sense, which is not ideal. Maybe this won't work either. What was that wording they used in here? Maybe we can search around the wording. Sometimes it's about finding the right wording to Google. Yeah, okay. Different paths. It's building for relative paths. This is assuming the app is hosted with server. Okay. So maybe let's do this because I remember reading somewhere in the React docs that you don't have to fully go with React. You can have some basic HTML as well, and kind of mix it in. I'm wondering if you can then have relative paths for different things. Maybe it's like React integrates with HTML. Adding React to works like this. Okay. I wonder how I'm serving these files with start. The React scripts start. What is this React scripts thing? Scripts. Where's the app in development mode? 3000. Okay. Testable. React in production mode now turns to both possible. Remember the build. Include hashes if necessary. Class names and function names can be enabled. The app is ready to deploy. Okay. Energy setup. No development components in isolation. You have a lot of UI code in different states, for example, basic code and obviously. Well, running sample app or some examples. You can add storybook for React. What's this? Let's start with story. What is this? Using the pub, here we go. The public focus is the HTML file. You can tweak it. For example, it's like a page title here. The script tag with file code will be added to it automatically during the build. process. SS is the public folder. No usually import assets and JavaScript files from this, for example, CSS and any section. Remember for description styles from the green file will avoid extra network processing of files, cause compilation errors, therefore for errors can result file names, include content mostly on the web browser caching for old. In escape hash, you can use the error access outside the module system. If you put a file into public, it will not be processed by the pack, instead it will be copied into the build folder and touched. Okay, to reference assets in the public folder, you need to use an environment variable called public URL. Any files inside the public folder will be accessible by public URL prefix. If you need to use a file from source or node modules, you need to copy it there explicitly intention to make this part of the build. We'll substitute with the correct absolute path so your project works even if you use client-side and also known URL. Downside, none of the files in the public folder get post-processed or unified. Okay? Missing files will not be called by compilation possible for result file name will include content. But it seems to work now. I don't have public folder in my roots here, so it just goes to images. Maybe it's relative, and I don't know. Dynamically reference your password, create a small script that creates that you got a script that declares code splitting. Yes. Okay, code splitting. Maybe what I'm trying to do is code split. Yes, root-based code splitting. Huh. This is very close. So for example, I'm gonna want a dashboard, and I'm gonna want a login component that I guess will be lazily loaded. I don't understand what this lazy does yet. I have to read the documentation. But I think I'm definitely going to need some help on this. I don't know how to do this yet. I think I'm going to end it for now. I'm just going to ask around, ask some friends, and then maybe I'll restart this this live stream once I get the answer, and we can build it together. Okay, cool. So let's just kind of recover what we've accomplished already. So if we go to getme.com, you should be able to see the landing page. Yes, with a strange thing at the top. That's fine for now. Great. And later we're going to try to make it so that we can get rid of this white space here, of course, but also load React once we go to a different route. Okay. Cool. So actually we accomplished quite a bit today. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay. Bye.